Across time and culture, names echo through history. Some names bring to mind great leaders, thinkers, and artists. Others, however, evoke a primal fear, a sense of dread that transcends generations. Attila the Hun, the Scourge of God, is one such name. His name is synonymous with destruction, brutality, and the very image of barbarian conquest. Attila was born into a world of horses, open skies, and constant conflict. The steppes of Central Asia were the Hunnic Empire's domain, a vast territory stretching from modern-day Hungary to the edges of China. The Huns were a nomadic people, fierce warriors who struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. Their equestrian skills were legendary. They were said to be born in the saddle. Attila inherited the leadership of the Huns alongside his brother Bleda around 434 CE. Together they united the often fractured Hunnic tribes under their banner. Attila, ever ambitious, had his eyes set on a grander prize, the riches and glory of the Roman Empire itself. The Eurasian steppe stretched out like a vast, windswept canvas, painting a backdrop for the nomadic Huns. It was a harsh land, unforgiving to the weak, but it forged within these nomadic people a fierce resilience and an unmatched mastery of warfare. It was into this world around 406 CE that Attila was born. His early life remains a mystery, shrouded in the oral traditions of his people. What little we know is often intertwined with myth and legend, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. The Huns were a formidable force, their mastery of horseback riding unparalleled. They were like centaurs of the steppe, moving with their mounts as one. Their weapon of choice, the composite bow, was a marvel of engineering. Made from wood, horn, and sinew, it could launch arrows with incredible force and accuracy. Attila's rise to power began with the death of his uncle Rua, the Hunnic king, in 434 CE. He inherited the throne alongside his brother Bleda, but Attila was not content to share power for long. Through cunning, ruthlessness, and perhaps even fratricide, he consolidated his rule. By 445 CE, Attila stood alone, the undisputed king of the Huns. With a united Hunnic force under his command, Attila turned his gaze toward the riches of the Roman Empire. He sought not just tribute, but conquest. He would become a force of nature, a storm that threatened to engulf the civilized world. The Eastern Roman Empire, centered on the magnificent city of Constantinople, represented the pinnacle of wealth and civilization to Attila. It was a glittering prize ripe for the taking. In 441 CE, Attila unleashed his Huns upon the Balkans, laying waste to cities and fortresses that stood in his path. The Roman response was sluggish, their armies weakened by corruption and internal strife. Attila exploited this weakness with ruthless efficiency. The Huns, masters of lightning warfare, struck with a speed and ferocity that the Romans were ill-prepared to counter. They swept through the Balkans, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Cities like Nisus, modern-day Nice, Serbia, were put to the torch, their populations massacred or enslaved. Constantinople, the jewel of the Eastern Roman Empire, trembled before the Hunnic onslaught. The city's formidable walls, however, proved to be a challenge even Attila's forces could not overcome. Instead of a direct assault, Attila tightened his grip on the surrounding territories, demanding ever-increasing tributes from the Eastern Roman Emperor Theodosius II. The emperor, desperate to save his capital, acquiesced to Attila's demands. Attila's campaigns in the east were not merely about plunder. They were calculated demonstrations of power. The Eastern Roman Empire, despite its vast resources and military might, had been humbled. The Western Roman Empire in the mid-5th century CE was a shadow of its former glory. Beset by internal strife, economic instability, and the constant pressure of barbarian migrations, it was ripe for the picking. Attila the Hun, fresh from his victories in the east, recognized this vulnerability. In 451 CE, Attila unleashed his fury upon the Western Roman Empire, leading his Hunnic horde across the Rhine River. Gaul, a prosperous Roman province, felt the full brunt of his wrath. Cities were sacked, villages razed, and the countryside was left in ruins. The Huns, masters of psychological warfare, instilled terror wherever they went. The Roman response, initially slow and disorganized, was galvanized by the arrival of the Roman general Flavius Aetius. Aetius rallied the remaining Roman legions, forging alliances with Visigothic and Frankish forces to counter the Hunnic invasion. The year 451 CE witnessed one of the most pivotal battles in European history, a clash of civilizations that would forever alter the course of the continent. Near the Catalonian plains, in what is now modern-day France, the forces of Attila the Hun collided with the combined might of the Roman and Visigothic armies. The Catalonian plains became a scene of unimaginable carnage. The earth trembled under the hooves of tens of thousands of horses. The air was thick with the smell of blood, sweat, and fear. Attila's Huns, renowned for their equestrian skills and mastery of the composite bow, fought with their trademark ferocity. They unleashed a storm of arrows upon their enemies, their mounted archers darting in and out of range. The Roman and Visigothic forces, though initially caught off guard, fought back with courage and determination. Aetius, the Roman general, proved to be a shrewd tactician, deploying his legions effectively. The Visigothic king Theodoric I led his warriors with valor, their heavy cavalry proving to be a formidable counter to the swift Hunnic horsemen. The battle raged for hours, a chaotic whirlwind of steel, blood, and thunderous war cries. The death of Theodoric I at the Battle of the Catalonian Plains proved to be a turning point. The Visigoths, fueled by vengeance, fought with renewed ferocity, pushing back against the Hunnic onslaught. Attila, facing the real possibility of defeat, made a strategic withdrawal, seeking refuge within his fortified camp. The Catalonian plains were littered with the dead, a testament to the ferocity of the fighting. While not a decisive victory for either side, the battle marked a turning point in Attila's western campaign. The Hunnic war machine, seemingly invincible up to this point, had been blunted. The myth of Attila's invincibility was shattered. Despite his setback at the Catalonian plains, Attila was far from finished. In 452 CE, he launched a new campaign, this time targeting the heart of the Western Roman Empire, Italy. He swept through the northern provinces, his forces leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Cities like Aquileia, once a flourishing Roman center, were razed to the ground. Rome itself lay vulnerable, its once mighty legions a shadow of their former selves. Panic gripped the city of Rome as news of Attila's approach spread. It was in this moment of despair that Pope Leo I, accompanied by dignitaries, ventured out to meet Attila. Whatever the reason, Attila agreed to spare Rome and withdrew from Italy. Attila the Hun, the Scourge of God, whose name had struck terror into the hearts of empires, met an unexpectedly peaceful end. In 453 CE, following a lavish feast celebrating his marriage to a young woman named Ildico, Attila was found dead in his chambers. The circumstances surrounding his death remain shrouded in mystery. Some chroniclers attributed his demise to a severe nosebleed. Others whispered of poison. The most popular account speaks of a massive hemorrhage. Whatever the true cause, Attila's death sent shockwaves through his empire and beyond. The mighty Hunnic Empire, forged through iron will and relentless conquest, proved to be as ephemeral as its creator. The once unified Hunnic force, so formidable under Attila's command, splintered and dissipated. The legacy of Attila the Hun, the Scourge of God, is a complex and multifaceted one. He was a ruthless conqueror, a bringer of destruction on a scale rarely seen in human history. His name became synonymous with terror, his campaigns leaving an indelible mark on the collective memory of Western civilization. Yet he was also a skilled diplomat, a cunning strategist, and a charismatic leader who united the often fractured Hunnic tribes into a force capable of challenging the might of the Roman Empire. Attila's reign of terror, though relatively short-lived, had a profound impact on the course of European history. His invasions hastened the fall of the already crumbling Western Roman Empire, contributing to the fragmentation of Roman authority and the emergence of new Germanic kingdoms. The fear he instilled in the hearts of the Roman elite forced them to divert resources and manpower away from the crumbling frontiers. Attila's legacy extends beyond the battlefield. His conquests and reign of terror became the stuff of legends, tales passed down through generations. He became a figure of fascination for artists, writers, and composers, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and music. Attila, the Scourge of God, remains an enigma, a historical figure shrouded in both fact and fiction. His story serves as a reminder of the enduring power of leadership, the allure of conquest, and the fragility of empires. Today's topic was suggested by one of our amazing viewers. If you have a topic you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more fascinating content.